Hello and welcome back to another part of What If Luffy Was Never Born. Today we're going to take a deep breath. So everybody follow me and breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Anyways, we're done with Act 2 of Wano. And because of that, we're currently in an interlude section. We're going to check in on what's going on in the outside of Wano, because that's what actual One Piece did, and we are currently finished with the reverie. And the reverie has ended and news are spreading around the world. Obviously, we know already what's going on, but here we still haven't learned it inward, and thus we need to learn today what is actually going on. The reverie has ended and news are spreading all around the world. First of all, Morgans, Big News Morgans, is giving out orders at his workplace until someone comes to him and gives him a letter with bribe money. The bribe is basically for him to keep quiet about certain events that happened at the reverie and other things, and he has to be quiet and not publish the news as they are truly, so he needs to be censored. But Morgans is a news reporter through and through, and thus he decides to deny the bribe. And well, the person obviously reveals himself then to be a CP agent. We don't really know what part of CP the cypher he belonged to. If it was a 9 member, a 0 member, a 6, 5, 4, whatever member. But now this guy wanted to silence Morgans. But Morgans quickly defeats him and basically just is like, nah, I don't care. I will release news however I want to. And this is the first thing I will release. So the Birdman is, in my opinion, way stronger than I expected, and it's so surprising. Like, who is Morgan? I think he has the Albatross Devil Fruit, so even though we see him in this Albatross form, it's like his hybrid form, and we never saw his real form before. Like, will we ever see how Morgans looks outside of his hybrid form? Or is he no, he's a man who ate the Albatross fruit, so it will be interesting to see that. Anyways, the news he's going to spread around are about the revolutionaries, about the warlords, about other things, and just other happenings that go around in the world. First of all, obviously there are the news about the revolutionaries and Sabo. We all know that Sabo and some other people from the revolutionaries, I think was the commanders, they clashed against both Fujitora and Ryokugyu, Green Bull. We're not Japanese, let's stay with Green Bull and Purple Tiger. Those two parties, those two people clashed against each other, and we learned that something bad happened. This is the part where many people are thinking, did Sabo maybe already die? Or because Morgans never makes fake news. He says the real news. Even they may be a bit like, he makes them a bit more exciting or something, but he wouldn't lie if someone is just captured or injured. He wouldn't just lie about someone being dead. So there's the question if the death part was about Sabo or Cobra from the Alabasta Kingdom. But Cobra in this universe is already dead, so we don't know how the news would say it, but for sure Sabo has something going on for him in the news. And this was enough for our girl Koala to cry about it. So it may be that he's captured, it may be that his execution got announced. Something happened with Sabo, and I, as the author, don't know what's going on. So this is the first thing that happens. And at the same time, the news also talk about this, the abolishment of the Warlord system. This was normally like, this was made public by the people from Cobra and King Riku, but Cobra is already dead, but it's still maybe the stand-in, well, not a stand-in, we're going to talk about this later. The king of Alabasta is not here at the reverie right now, because he doesn't have the time right now to come to this reverie. He needs to take care of his kingdom, or maybe he's still not in his kingdom. He's going to be there pretty soon, but he couldn't come to the reverie because of multiple reasons. But Riku still said what's going on here. He said, I was attacked by Doflamingo, and he used his Warlord title to make use of everything and basically betrayed everyone's expectations, and we need to get rid of the Warlords. And even without Cobra there, it was a majority of the world leaders that were like present at this reverie that agreed with this statement from Riku, and thus the Warlord system got abolished. They made the decision to stop the system and need to catch all of the Warlords. And this also leads us to the instant like follow up with everything here, which is the attack against the Warlords. And this is still one of my favorite pictures we have of Boa Hancock, by the way. So as a result, the Marines sent out large forces after the remaining Warlords, because basically Law and Moria both basically just dropped their titles after the things that happened during Dressrosa. After the Dressrosa thing was over, they both announced they were no longer Warlords and they're just going for their own thing and are going to become the king of the pirates or something. And that was when they already lost their titles. So after those two defeated Doflamingo at Dressrosa, there were already only four of the 7 Warlords left, and those 4 are Mihawk, Hancock, Weevil, and Simon. Yes, Simon. Anyways, we all know they can take care of Simon, but the other 3 are a bit of a question mark here. Obviously, we know what would normally take place. Nobody has an idea how the hell they are going to take care of Mihawk, and we also don't really know who was sent after Weevil, but we know who was sent after Hancock. Normally, Kobe would be sent to take Hancock, but technically speaking, Kobe is still with Alvida somewhere in the East Blue, and this didn't change. Maybe he's somewhere in a different place, but he for sure is not a member of the people sent after the Warlords. Because of that, we also don't have the reveal that X-Drake, or I don't really know, do you pronounce it X-Drake or something else? Is it like Chi-Drake? I don't know. We don't learn that he's the captain of Sword and that he's a secret member of the Marines still. And we also learn that Kobe is a member of them because Kobe is not a member of the Marines in this case. Because of all that, obviously Drake can report to Kobe about the Big Mom and Kaido alliance, and CP0 being present on Wano also doesn't get like into the ears of the Marines outside of Wano. So obviously we might still have like a scene like this comparable in this scenario, but he won't talk with Kobe. We might get a reveal for some other Sword member. I don't know, maybe Kuzan, maybe Fujitora, maybe Garb, maybe some other person who's a member of the Sword group, but we don't know any other members of the group so far, so I don't know who he would talk to with. But obviously, something else going on is on New Marineford, on the base of the Marines have right now after the war with Whitebeard. First of all, Sakazuki, or the new fleet admiral, reports to Fujitora that Kaido and Big Mom have formed an alliance, which is the most dangerous thing for the world since a long time. Basically since 38 years ago. And, well, there was also the time when Roger became the king of the pirates, but this was not as dangerous as 38 years ago. Basically, everybody is learning about what's going on Wano and these other things. So somewhere else, Sengoku also explains the history of Rock D. Sebek to all of the, like, not weaker Marines, but he explains to the other Marines that still need to be taught about the incidents and everything else what went on in the past. And so he reveals that Roxy Sebek was the most dangerous pirate to ever exist, even more dangerous than the Pirate King himself. That was because on his crew there were all kinds of strong pirates. People like Kaido, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Shiki, John, Wang Ji, Silver Axe, and all these other people were members of the crew of Rox D. Sebek. And that's just an insane crew and everybody's shocked by that. But that's not where it stops. Obviously they also reveal all of the Yonko bounties that we learned, and also the bounties that Edward Newgate, Whitebeard had before he died, and also the bounty of Goldie Roger before his execution. This was also a case where many people thought that our boy Luffy and Roger might have the same devil fruit, because Roger has this 5-6 in his name, which is Go-Mu, and this is the same thing that we thought that was the tease that he might be another user of the Gomu Gomu no Mi. But do you guys think that Roger has the same devil fruit as Luffy? Do you think he has it? I don't think so. I really don't think that Roger had a devil fruit. I still don't know it. Talking about the devil fruit, let's talk about this in the end, but I'm going to talk about the Gomu Gomu no Mi in this video as well. First of all, we have these bounties here, and the public learns the first time what happened and how the crew of Rogersbase met their downfall 38 years ago in the God Valley incident. The public still thinks that Garb alone defeated this crew, all of these people. He defeated them alone and thus became the hero of the Marines. But what they don't know is that the Marines faked the news or changed them, because Garb was not alone. Garb had help from Goldie, Roger, and they teamed up together to defeat all these people. So now think about it. The strongest Marine to ever live probably, and the strongest pirate to probably ever live. They both together had to fight and probably barely won against the pirates from this crew. It's such an insane crew. It's unbelievable. So for the first time, we potentially even bigger threat appeared, and this is the alliance of two Yonkos who grew way stronger than 30 years ago. With Kaido and Charlotte Lindlin, Big Mom together as a force, and nobody knows what to expect from here, because together the bounty is even higher than Goldie Roger's bounty is. So they are a danger, they are a menace, and we don't know how to deal with that. This is the real of all of the bounties as well, and maybe they're going also to talk about, maybe Moria is also on this picture because he's like the new emperor, and people, maybe Sengoku also talks about this because he saw some things that happened in Dressrosa and was like, and this pirate here is another force which will grow in the future, and we need to take care of him as fast as possible. This is the Shadow Emperor, the Emperor of Hell, Moria, Gecko Moria. Even though he was a warlord in the past, he's now one of the most dangerous up-and-coming pirates. So with all of that said, Sakazuki still says that they don't have enough forces to also send their people to Wano and take care of whatever problems are like going on there. But we all know that the world government is going to send their forces there, because the Marines may not have the forces, but the world government knows what's going on there. So let me be honest here. I don't know if I said this part before that is going to come up right now. I don't know if it was just an idea on my part. I probably talked about this in the comments before, but this is a part that is a bit different. We talked about this. Because of all of the rubbery things, they talked about the new king of Alabasta. And the new king of Alabasta was maybe sometimes already, if this was an anime or a manga, the new king of Alabasta would have been shown as a silhouette a few times ago already. But here it is finally revealed that Buggy is the new king of Alabasta. As it is believed he's also a descendant of the Nefertari family, or like Vivi's family. Like maybe a long lost cousin of Vivi's mother or his father or something like that, because just the same hair color, I guess, that's the thing. And we know Buggy is always like going around and doing weird things and maybe getting into positions nobody would expect. It's just the normal stuff with Buggy, and to be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised if Buggy was real royalty. I know it's not a fan theory, it's just a joke that fans have that Buggy is maybe a celestial dragon, because there was once this quote of Roger when he held Momonosuke in his hands. He basically said, "It has been a long time since I held a child in my hand," which made people think that Roger once held a baby in his hand, and it was not Ace, because Ace is obviously not as old as Momonosuke would be. So there was a time before that he held a baby in his hands, and we don't know who that was. So there was this theory that maybe somewhere on the line, maybe at the God Valley incident, Shanks took Buggy under his wing, and maybe also Goldie Roger took Buggy and Shanks under his wing and basically raised them on his ship. There's also a theory that Garb took a dragon under his wings, and basically Dragon is the son of Rogersbase, but that's a different topic. We don't really know if Dragon is the son of Garb or just the son-in-law of Garb, but we don't know that. But here it is, Buggy is the new king of the Nefertari family, and he's Nefertari Buggy now. Or maybe his bounty probably also got erased because it probably was a mistaken thing, and he's royalty now. He's there. He did everything he needed to do. And this is everything we have here. But now, let me talk about this. Way back. I think this series is already going on for at least over half a year. I think we were in Marineford 4 months ago. So this is probably, I don't know, are we approaching the 1 year mark? I need to check that out for the next week. But it's been going on for quite some time. And all the way back in the Roman Stone Saga, when we had Shanks in Fushai Village, I talked about that maybe Lucky Roo would eat the Gomu Gomu no Mi, because obviously he was the one who got that devil fruit, and it's normal for the person who got the devil fruit to eat it. But we learned a bit more about this devil fruit, and I can't say he will eat it. What I actually would say is, this fruit has a mind of its own, and it always escapes from the grasp of the world government. That's how Shanks got that devil fruit. But we don't really know what Shanks planned to do with it. Did he always wanted to give it to Luffy? Or did he want to give it to someone else? Did he want to eat it himself? However, Shanks didn't do anything with it for quite some time. And one day, the devil fruit disappeared again. The devil fruit just disappeared, and Shanks, I think what would happen is that there was a bit of an argument on the Red Force, which is the name of Shanks' ship, where they talked about, did you sell that fruit, or what did you do? We worked so hard to get that, and now you just throw it away, you don't do anything with it. But the fruit suddenly disappeared, and no one knows what happened with it. And I don't know what you think about me doing this, but I have a plan for this, because as of now, the plan is to make Wano the final arc of this what if scenario. Because after I finish Act 3, I'm going to do basically an epilogue, because we don't know what's going to come after Wano, and this what if scenario will be finished way before the Wano arc probably will be actually finished by Oda. So I have my original ending prepared for everything that's going to happen in the One Piece world, together with Moria doing things, and until then, I have nothing more to say, and I hope you enjoyed this video. That has been all for today, and on first day, be excited for that. I will have a video about the gods in One Piece, or not the gods per se, but the god users. And until then, I hope all of you take care of yourself, stay cultured, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hot. This has been Pyro Prima, and we see each other on the next video. Bye!